Welcome to this gamblingsites.org sports betting how-to video. I'm Drew Goldfarb, and today we'll be breaking down staking plans. Whether you're betting on football, baseball, basketball, hockey, or anything else, make sure to check out gamblingsites.org for all of your sports betting needs. Staking plans are an important part of sports betting. A staking plan is a method to help you figure out how much money you should risk on a particular wager. Instead of just going, I guess I'll place 20 bucks on the Jets to lose on Sunday, a staking plan will help put some logic into your bet. There are a variety of different types of plans that you can use. Some factor in your recent track record, others will use the odds of you winning and the size of your available bankroll. Generally speaking, a staking plan will help you with your bankroll management, and that is a big key when it comes to sports betting. There are two major types of staking plans. The first are fixed plans, where the amount that you wager or the percentage of your bankroll that you bet will remain constant. Unlike the other type of staking plans, which are called variable staking plans, these do not move from bet to bet. When it comes to fixed plans, there are two basic options. The first is the fixed wager staking plan, where you'll be betting the same amount of money on every sports bet that you place. You'll figure out what that amount will be. We recommend an amount that's equal to or smaller than 5% of your total bankroll, and that's your wager on every sports bet that you place. The idea is to grow your bankroll over time, and this is probably the most conservative approach of all the ones we'll be discussing in this video. A bankroll percentage staking plan is very similar to the fixed wager option that we just discussed. Like with that plan, you'll start by figuring out the percentage of your bankroll that you wish to wager. Unlike the previous plan, the number that stays constant is the percentage. Let's say you're wagering 2% and you have a $500 bankroll. In the previous example, that means you'd bet $10 on every bet no matter how your previous bets fared. With a bankroll percentage staking plan, that amount changes as you go on. After each bet is won or lost, you go back and figure out what 2% of your new bankroll balance is, and that becomes your wager for the next one. Go on a run of wins, your stake will increase accordingly. Lose a few in a row, it'll dip down little by little. It's the more flexible of the fixed wager staking plans. The other type of staking plan is the variable staking plan. This option will see the amount that you're betting change with each bet. There are three of these types of plans that we want to go over, with the first two built around loss recovery. The martingale system is a very popular system, but one that isn't without its flaws. This is considered a negative progression system. What that means is that your wager amounts will go down as you win and will go up as you lose. The basic concept is this: if you lose your wager, you double the amount for the next bet. Lose that one, double again. Once you win one, you'll be back to even and can go back to your original wager. It sounds simple, but there's a massive problem. If you begin with a $5 wager and lose, your next bet is $10. Lose again, it's $20. Lose 5 times in a row, you'll be betting $160 and have already lost $155. By the time you reach 9 consecutive losses, you'll have lost over $2,500, and your next wager will need to be $2,560. You can very quickly lose your entire bankroll or even reach a table limit on highest bet amount before you recoup your losses. The next option is the Fibonacci sequence. This one's a little more complex, but hey, that's what I'm here for. Each sequence must start with a 0, and that's followed by a base unit. Let's say 1 for this example. Each number after that in the sequence will be the sum of the two numbers that come right before it. So 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, and so on. We suggest starting your sequence with a base unit of either $1 or $2, since things can climb very quickly from there. So how do you use the sequence? Well, you begin by betting with your base unit. Anytime you lose your wager, you move to the next number in the sequence. Anytime you win your wager, you move back 2 spots in the sequence. You should never be betting less than your base unit, and the main idea is that if you're currently profitable, you should start the sequence over again. The Fibonacci sequence faces a lot of the same limitations and potential issues that the martingale system does, though the wager amount doesn't escalate quite as quickly here. The final staking plan we want to talk about is the proportional betting plan. With this type of plan, your wager will be a percentage of your bankroll factoring in the edge. It's based on something called the Kelly formula. That formula goes like this. You take the wager's decimal odds minus 1, Multiply that by your probability of success, and then subtract your probability of failure. Take that resulting number and divide it by the wager's decimal odds minus 1. The end result will be the percentage of your bankroll that you should wager on this bet. Here's an example using actual numbers. Let's say your friend offers you 2.0 odds on a coin being tossed landing on tails, and he tells you the coin has a 54% chance of landing on tails because of a built-in bias in the coin. Your Kelly formula would look like this and would give you a result of 8. That means that using the Kelly formula, you should wager 8% of your bankroll on this coin toss bet. Unlike the other systems that we discussed, the Kelly formula helps factor in your edge in a wager when determining how much you should risk on your next bet. There's no magic answer for which betting system you should or should not use. We'd suggest trying one or two out on a limited test basis to see which one you might like, keeping your bets small while getting a feel for them. You can always go ahead and make your own plan using the guidelines we've given you here, or coming up with an entirely new method for yourself from scratch. That'll do it for our guide on staking plans. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and keep checking out gamblingsites.org for more picks, tips, and of course how-to videos. I'm Drew Goldfarb. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.